Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday for another episode of Guided by Spirit. I am your host, Richard LaRocco, with my co-host, Miss Pauline Raffaella. Happy Thursday, Pauline.
Happy Thursday to you,
How you
Richard.
doing?
I'm doing well. I noticed that we are in sync today. We
Yes.
we're wearing basically the same color, just different hue. So I love
Yeah,
when we are in sync.
it was it was not coordinated, I promise.
It
But it was divinely guided. So we're gonna kind of go with that.
was guided by spirit.
Yes, guided by spirit. So we have a lot going on today. We have a great topic, which I do want to tell everyone. We're going to be talking about narcissism, and we're going to dive in a little deep here with narcissistic relationships, how to kind of tell if you're even dating a narcissist, what to do. We're going to give some tips. So if you have encountered a narcissistic relationship, whether it's through parents, kids, somebody your partner, husband, wife, whatever it may be, leave a little heart or a thumbs up in the comments, okay? Or give us a call in. The number is in the description, but we want to hear from you because this is a topic I've really been focusing on the last 2 weeks. I'm trying to create a movement. Pauline, I know it's in your book. I know you also have had some stuff published, which we're going to talk about. But this is a really big topic, and we're gonna get into this. Hello, Yvonne. We have a hello already, all caps, Miss Yvonne out there. But if you do have a relationship or a connection to a narcissist, please leave a heart or a thumbs up in the comments. All right, Pauline, we got a lot going on energetically. Timelines are shifting, things are moving, energy's changing. Let's get into universally speaking. What do you think?
Universally speaking, we are being, I want to say, uplifted into a higher timeline. So many of my friends and people on Facebook, I posted something on Facebook today about this timeline shift, this upliftment that came out of nowhere. And it is a feeling of upliftment and joy and abundance and prosperity and just well-being. And it like came out of nowhere. And someone on my Facebook page said to me, where did this come from? And I said, well, we're only 5 days away from the 11/11 portal. And so this portal on Monday, 11/11, opens up a lot of energy. Now, what people need to understand is that as time goes on, these portals, they've always been there, but we haven't felt them. We haven't been open to the energy of feeling this. We haven't really known about it. Now that we know that these celestial occurrences are happening, we're more sensitive to it. We're more receptive to it because on an energy level, our soul, this is like quenching the thirst of the soul. Okay. It's like, oh my God, give me that celestial energy here as this human so I can be healthy and happy and abundant and a magnet for the things that I want. So we've been on this journey, right, Richard, for a long time. Well, these occurrences like 11/11 portal, they're just going to get stronger and stronger because, well, it's evolution. And
So, real
yep.
quick, Pauline. So, when you say stronger and stronger and the portal, what could people expect to feel? What could they do? How should they prepare?
So, everybody is different. And look, there are times, even with like some of the full moons, right? Or the new moons. Okay. So a full moon can put someone on their back. They could be exhausted while somebody else is feeling energized and fantastic. And the same thing happens with these portals. Okay. The 11/11. And I know a lot of people are seeing 11/11 on the clock and 111. And these are all sort of symbolic messages from spirit letting you know you're on the right path or there's a lot of new beginnings coming. So 11/11 is it's number one. So it's a sequence of number one, which is a lot of new beginnings coming. So what will we feel? Well, some of us are already starting to feel it, which is normal, a few days before to a few days afterwards. And like for me, I felt very uplifted. You could feel just happy for no reason, joyous, creative, take charge. You and I were just talking. You felt a little tired, right? You felt a little tired at first, but you're processing that energy out. So
I felt hungover.
you okay, so you
I'm not gonna lie, I felt hungover. I was a hot mess.
all right, you had an energy hangover, which is what it was, but that's okay. It passes, right? As it passes. You're clearing out some old energy and absorbing the new energy. It could feel emotional. It could feel something from the past could trigger you. All right. The world could be triggering you right now. So it could bring up a lot of heightened emotions. We want to work through that. Okay, and the emotions could be anything from sadness to fear to whatever, insecurity. We work through this. This is the process of evolution. It is the journey of awakening, and we are in the great awakening. If you haven't picked up my book yet, do so, because it is one of the things that I actually talk about in the epilogue is this great awakening. And I mentioned it in the beginning of the book too. We are in the throes of the great awakening. It's not coming anymore. It's here.
No, it's big stuff, and I'm definitely feeling the energy. I had to do a lot of center and grounding, doing a lot of center and grounding. I was very mindful, recharging, taking care of myself, got outside, did some walking, Mother Nature. I mean, it really did help. I feel tremendous today.
Yes,
And I'll also tell people, really kind of like take care of yourself, be mindful and take care of you,
hmm,
especially if you're feeling emotional, if you have things going on in your mind, whatever narrative may be, just kind of like breathe, really take one moment at a time, maybe disconnect from what's out there, kind of feeding some of the anxiety,
definitely.
and just really do a little self recharging, preservation, kind of purging of any kind of negative or undertone vibrations that you may feeling, whether you're surrounded by people, you've been hearing things that have been causing some anxiety, unknowns, whatever that might be,
Yes.
right? And we're in a day in this time where there's a lot going on energetically. We just had something major happen the other day. We
Hmm.
have the portal coming up. We had some new moon stuff, I think, because I saw this beautiful crescent. You got a lot going on. So one of the things is really take care of yourself. And I'm an advocate of that. I've had to kind of slow down. I've had to do more breath work. I've had to pace myself and then reaffirm things going on inside me. Release and reaffirm. I am okay. I am in control.
Yes.
I do show love, whatever it may be. So
Right.
I just kind of want to put it out there. I've gotten a lot of messages, a lot of comments from people all over the place, good, bad, highs, lows, and everywhere in between. So I will tell you, no matter where you are in that spectrum, breathe, center, ground, mindfulness, and
Yes.
give yourself grace.
Yes. Yes. And I love that. Continue to reaffirm that you're okay, that you will be okay,
Yes.
that you are loved, that you are worthy, that you are in control, and
Yes.
and if you need help, get it.
Yes.
Reach out and get it. So, yeah, there's a lot of things happening. So, what I think we experienced just a day ago was a timeline shift. And it was usually it's like you have to kind of work to step up to a new timeline. This one just kinda, like, slipped in, and
Yeah.
so many people felt it, and it's a it and the more that we upgrade ourselves and step up and up, and we become better versions of ourselves, we automatically do begin to step into higher and higher timelines. That's why we say in spirituality, you can be anything you want to be. You can have and create anything that you want. Sky is the limit, but it's all attainable. But it starts with the healing of the self. Because once you become the vibration of that thing that you want, be it love, health, joy, inner peace, wealth, whatever, once you become the vibration of that, we know firsthand, and I think many of our listeners do, it magnetizes to you like that.
Yeah, I think this is a really big, and that's a great point, Pauline. And this kind of like segues into what we're doing. So, one of the things that we're talking about today, okay, and this is a topic near and dear to my heart. I know it is for Pauline also. It's we're going to do a little deep dive into narcissism. And we're going to talk about narcissistic relationships and what this looks like. Because once you go through these experiences, the healing process, you view the world very different. You view it very different. When you go through narcissistic abuse, it tears you down from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I always say we operate from the trauma mind or the healed brain. And that's kind of what you were talking about, Pauline. It was like we got to heal.
Right.
We got to view things differently and not from what we see or what we experience. So
Yes.
um, let's talk about, let's do dive in a little. So first, before we get into dating a narcissist or relationships, what are some signs you find, and very clear signs that you find when starting to deal with a narcissist or date a narcissist? Let's go to how to identify them. Like, what are the signs out there? Do they have a big like light or a big like devil horns or, like a big like walking, image that we should just stay away, not today, Satan, run for the hills, you know?
No,
Grab
they're
the
off,
holy
they're
water.
they're often times good-looking people. They're often times charming people. And so, but they put forth a persona that is not their true persona. Okay. So, um, and if anybody's interested, on my website, you'd have to sign into my website. I do have an article about what I learned from dating a pathological liar, which is pathological lying is a sign of narcissist. And there's 12 reasons. We'll see how many of them we get to today. But one of the things, one of the first things you'll notice is they lie about themselves. They don't really give you an honest picture of themselves. And you know they're lying because if they talk about people in their past, everybody in the past is bad, they were wrong, they were horrible, they were everything. And this person has, like, I didn't do anything wrong. All my other relationships didn't work out because it was all them and not me. So they start lying about themselves in that way. All right. So, it was their mother, it was their father, it was their ex-wife, it was their ex-girlfriend. All of these people were so bad. And one of the things I said to this particular narcissist at the time, I said, so, well, what did you do wrong? I came right out and said, well, what did you do wrong that it didn't work out? What was your part in it? Oh, I didn't have any part in it. So they start to lie. Okay. And you can, you pick up on that because no one can say anything, any relationship or anything went wrong because the other person was 100%. Even if it's 90-10, there's still a little piece that we have to own, that maybe we were being too accommodating or we were allowing abuse. So there's still a little piece there for us to acknowledge. I see you smiling, and do we have some comments?
We got a lot of comments. We got a lot of hellos. We have, let's see, Marvell. We have hello. We have a Joanne. Hello. It was wonderful. Crystal. Hello. We have Sheila. Hello. Richard and Pauline. Marvell said they lie about everything, even non-significant things. You are 100% right. If a narcissist is talking, they are either lying or manipulating,
Yes.
and probably both all within the same sentence.
Yes.
And then we do have an interesting comment here. We have Susan who put, how can we heal with what is being taken away from us?
Mm.
So one of the things I tell people is, let's stay in the moment. Let's focus on what is occurring in this moment. Let's focus on what we have instead of what we feel like will not be there. Let's kind of like stay in that vibration. Also, one of the things I like to do, this is for me, I become my own truth seeker. I educate myself. I read. I look into, I don't take people's word for anything. I don't listen to what's out there. I feel like I do a deep dive into what is really going on, what is not being over embellished, exaggerated, emotions. I disconnect from all that and I take one moment at a time. And if I'm curious about something, or I do a deep dive into it, because I think a lot of things, both in any aspect, can be spun in a different narrative to suit a certain purpose.
So I would ask her when she says, how do we stop, or what do we do about the things that are being taken away from us? I would like clarification on what things are being taken. Is it your self-worth? Is it something physical? What is being taken away? So, and the answer would be different, I think, for each case. But a narcissist is looking to take away your power. All right, that is ultimately what they're looking for, is to take away your power, to keep you down, to keep you at a level where they can control and manipulate you. And so they're looking for your power. And they will attract to the people whose type of power they want for themselves because they don't have it. That could be fame, that could be money, that could be somebody is very confident within themselves, because a narcissist is not confident, right? And
Oh
so,
my gosh,
yeah,
they are the most insecure people. At the
yes,
core, they
yes.
are so insecure.
Yes. So they typically target people that kind of have these qualities that they don't have, and they're trying to take that from that person. And I don't even know if they know consciously that they're doing it. Some do. But if they are insecure and they meet you and you are a very confident person, boy, in their mind, if they can knock down your confidence, somehow that will build up their own confidence, but that is false. Okay, so they do lie about who they are, and they do lie about they will lie about the littlest stupid things that don't even require a lie. Did you
Oh,
park on the left side of the street? No, 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 I pulled in the driveway instead.
well, and it's really a
And lie.
what they do is they play mind tricks. So it's everything to make you feel like you're crazy. What they do is, and let's kind of get back into a little bit of, so how to identify a narcissist. And Pauline, you made some amazing points. Real simple. How do they treat people too? I find if you go to dinner with them and they're just berating, the wait staff or the server or the host, they're not being sat in time,
Mm.
or, the valet, if you go to park somewhere, or how are they treating people, the words coming out of their mouths, right? So really, they might be nice to you, but they're like, oh, do you see that idiot? Like, pay attention to that. Also, appearance. Do they criticize people for their looks?
Mhm.
Narcissists are superficial. on every level. Like you said, they want somebody good looking. They want somebody who's going to draw attention to them or what they don't have. If they're
Yes.
rich or whatever it is, the narcissist is going to go to that. And then how do they speak about people?
Yeah.
Listen, if they're talking about their own friends and family in a really condescending, just mean way, chances are the words lie pretty deep. They're
Right.
thinking it, they're feeling it, they're acting that way. Chances are you got a narcissist,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So what do you do if you're dating somebody or with somebody and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh no, I got a narcissist." What do you do?
You stop dating that person.
You run as fast as you can out the
You
door. No, I'm kidding.
well, when if you recognize that there's narcissistic traits, you know what? The first thing is, and we have to talk about a lot more traits. Don't try to fix them. Don't try to heal them because they're as Cindy Sansone would say, and we had Cindy Sansone on our show, right? She's the psychic medium and author of Why Good People Don't Heal and Grant Me a Higher Love. And she'll tell you they don't heal because they're not capable of healing. So you could try to heal them, but that would only end up hurting you. So the best thing to do is to walk away and not try to engage. Uh, Sometimes we have karma with a narcissist and we kind of have to play things out. So you view that narcissist as your mirror of what you have to heal within yourself, and you heal it within yourself, and you let go. That would be my advice.
Got it. So one of the things too, so you said something there, and I want to touch on this because you said identifying a narcissist, like, if you identify, walk away. First of all, run away. Get out of there, end the dating. This isn't going to work because what they're going to do and why sometimes people don't realize they're dating a narcissist, okay? They do something called love bombing. And
Yes.
love bombing is where they seem absolutely perfect. We've heard the phrase, "Oh my gosh, I'm like, seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's amazing. Life is good. I love you," even after 3 months. Well, let's just see where this goes. But oh my gosh, like, I just want to move in with you. They're going to give you everything that you kind of wanted or needed. They're going to put all that energy into that love bombing. They're going to say the right things, do the right things. They're going to ask questions, pay attention. They're going to watch your language, what you're saying, who bothers you. They're going to be the listener, the support system. What they're doing is gathering information to utilize during when they go to attack.
But yes, they are masters at understanding who you are and what you need, and then giving it to you. And then once you trust them, now you're on the yo-yo. Okay, now you're on the yo-yo string. Now they can pull you down and lift you up and pull you. That's the puppet. Is the puppet. They can push you down and lift you up. So that is their tactic. So if you feel that you are being sort of put down and then lifted up, if you feel like there is no consistency or not a lot of consistency, and you feel like you're on a little bit of a roller coaster with this person, you are more than likely with some degree of a narcissist. Now, there's a couple of other points I have a whole list of points that I can sort of bullet point and just say in the show that I want people to be very aware of and know that not to make excuses for this. Okay. So one of the things, and we'll start here, the explanations they give don't make logical sense regarding odd situations that occur. So let's just say an odd situation. Somebody says, "Well, I'll call you at 3 o'clock," right? And they don't call you at 3 o'clock. And you say, "Well, so where were you? What happened?" Or they were supposed to show up and they didn't show up. And they give you some really stupid excuse or something that doesn't make sense. And your intuition's going, that's not making sense. Trust your intuition. Okay, trust your intuition, because a lot of times the gaslighting they give you, the narrative, the talk, the excuse, the gaslighting doesn't really make sense, or it turns around and it's pointed at you as having done something wrong. Okay. Oh no, you made a mistake. I didn't say I was going to meet you at 3 o'clock. Yeah, you did. No. So, and they'll give a big excuse. So they're masters at gaslighting and making you doubt yourself. Okay. A healthy relationship is consistent. A healthy relationship has communication where both parties feel like they've been heard, they understood. You don't feel heard or understood when you are trying to communicate with a narcissist. You're frustrated, or you're starting to doubt yourself. Very important points. Okay, so this is not normal. Their cell phones are hidden. They don't, their cell phones are not on them. You're sitting watching TV, you're out to dinner, and their cell phone is nowhere in sight. Or their cell phone is there on the table somewhere, but it's locked. Okay. And they keep it hidden from you so that you can't see it. That's because there's other text messages or things coming through that they don't want you to see.
That's a really good point, because I actually just talked about this the other day, and I talked about, why do narcissists cheat? And remember this, okay? If you understand, it becomes very simple to you, right? Is that they need to be the center of attention. They need attention. Okay. So a lot of times they're going to talk to somebody else. They're going to flirt. They're going to be a certain way out in public, but very different with you behind closed doors. Right. What they're doing is that they're going to be very conversational. They're going to flirt with the waitress. They may even have a work wife. They'll emotionally cheat. They'll go to the favorite place just because people give them lots of attention. What they're doing is they're feeding their ego, especially if you put the brakes on it. If you stop feeding into it, they're going to go find it somewhere else. And guess what? It's not personal. It's how they operate.
Yes.
They will cheat on you, and then they'll flip the script and make you feel guilty because you didn't give them what they needed. Just remember, everything is set up for them.
Yes.
They live in a very alternate world.
Yes. I love the emotional cheating piece, because that's a given with a narcissist. That is a given. They need attention 24/7. They need because they're empty. All right. They're empty. So they don't have a sense of self. And it's very sad, but they don't have a sense of self. So they need to constantly have an input of energy of some sense of self. Well, no one can be that for anyone 24/7. All right. But if you're a woman and you got 5 guys feeding you, well, then you can feel full. If you're right. And if you're a guy and you got 5 women feeding you, well, then you can feel full, because you're getting fed and you're getting attention from all different sources. This is very common. Very, very common.
We actually have a couple of comments. So we have one. Deborah says, please, no one stay in an unhealthy relationship because you think it's karma. You're right. Easier sometimes said than done, because I've seen firsthand relationships that have been going on for years up to decades, and they just can't leave. There is a strong trauma bond, and we're going to kind of talk about that too. But they have now the house, the kids, everything, and it's not as easy. But if you can get out, please do, because what they're doing is embedding their hooks in you. Yes. And slowly, once the love bombing phase is over, which is usually 6 months to a year, okay, that's kind of that magic window where you really start seeing the true person behind the facade, okay? So if you can, run. If you can't, I just taught a class on this, how to get out of really traumatic narcissistic relationships. Get a plan, right? And we can go more into that in
Yeah.
another show because that's its own topic. You
Yes.
know, when you feel trapped and you feel stuck. Um, but I do want to get to another comment. We have Michelle. Yep, they need constant new attention, but sometimes they don't want to give up what they have. You are right, Michelle. They have a hole that constantly needs to be filled. Much experience. Yes, you do. And I know this in your past relationship. I know Michelle, and you're right. They do have a hole that they need to constantly have filled. Their ego needs to be validated. They
Hmm.
need your energy. They need the attention, like we spoke. And it's all new. It becomes almost like a dopamine rush. So, like a drug dealer or, you know, a drug addict or somebody who gambles, they need that rush, that high. And that's sometimes what a narcissist does. So they'll really push the envelope and they'll make it so through online, or they'll have that work relationship, whatever it is. And the fact they're hiding actually adds to the excitement and fills some of that yearning.
They love the forbidden.
Yes.
That is so right. They love this forbidden because it's exciting to them, right? Anybody that has a good sense of self can be alone, can feel peaceful, can feel happy. You can be alone with yourself. A narcissist really can't be alone with themselves. All right? So they need excitement, they need the forbidden, and yeah, they need the constant, filling of the empty well.
Yeah.
So yes. So now something else here too. Phone calls or texts by day are abundant and they're thinking about you and you're texting back and forth, even sporadically at work, and then all of a sudden night goes silent. Okay? Why nothing at night? Well, they're probably out with somebody. They're probably out with somebody else. Okay. And the phone is locked. All right. And so, or there's a little text at night, and then you text and then you get nothing back. And the excuse is I fell asleep. Okay. Or my phone fell in the toilet. Okay. So you get all these stupid excuses. Okay. Of, why weren't they responding to you? Okay, when they were responding to you 5 hours ago, now all of a sudden, nothing. So that's also a sign, because a healthy relationship, uh, that really doesn't happen. It really doesn't happen. Okay, so that's another thing. Um, the inability to communicate as an adult and resolve issues. They are avoidant. They are avoidant. They don't
Yeah, they're
want
not
to have
good
the conversation.
communicators.
What's
They're
that?
not good. They're not good communicators.
Right.
They, you know, it's funny. They'll talk to you. You'll never get what you need to hear. They'll never own any part of what they've caused. They will never be accountable for anything they say, how they make you feel, how they act. Most of things are a lie. And here's a number one sign you should also run away. If you need to feel like you need to record the conversations because everything they say, they flip on you and they make you feel like you're crazy, okay? Run. If
Yes.
you have to record the conversation or document what is going on, run.
Yeah. You have a right to ask any question that you need to feel confident, to feel comfortable, with an explanation of maybe why something happened or didn't happen. And look, things can happen, but a healthy person will sit and say, "Oh my God, no, I didn't mean that to happen," or "No, I really did get tied up." You'll get a response that will be, you'll feel it. You'll know it's true. The narcissist doesn't do that. The narcissist will never work hard to make you feel confident. They'll give you an answer, and if you don't like the answer and you want to keep questioning it, or you want to probe a little deeper, you'll either get an avoidant, you'll get a walking away from you, you'll get comments like, "You're needling, you're needling. Okay. Now you're being obsessive. The problem is you.
Wait a second, Pauline. Have you heard this one? This is one of the more popular. You're so dramatic.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes,
You're so dramatic because what they're doing
yes.
is they are deflecting, okay, and putting it on you so that you seem crazy, you question yourself, and then they emotionally detach.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Well, that's
we're
their MO, that's their MO, right? So they're going to turn
yeah.
it around on you, and now they're absolved.
Well, and that's a great point because Michelle did comment and she goes, I met him when I was 14, fell hard, and I was groomed. You're right. Why they groomed is they make you kind of how they what works best for them.
Yes.
So if they feel like, you think you're beautiful and everything, they're going to do little digs to make you now insecure. You're
Hmm.
not as confident as you were, especially if you had a great job. The second, you get promoted and you have this amazing job and you run into a hard meeting or a client, you see, I don't know what you did. You were on a roll and they'll undermine everything you do. They slowly pick you apart and they break you down.
Yeah.
And then she commented, the man was shocked when I filed for divorce. How can it possibly be? How dare you leave him? Right?
Yes.
Because now they're making you feel guilty. How dare you leave me? I've loved you. Nobody's going to love you like I do.
Yes.
Right?
But
That's a
they're
common thing.
yeah, and their ego though is so inflated that they just can't imagine that you would leave them. If anything, they would leave you. But
Yes.
if you are a good source of supply, and Michelle, I imagine you are, meaning you're probably beautiful, you're giving, you're kind, you're loving, you're attentive, okay? You're a good source of supply. So they you would be groomed.
She's
So
probably and knowing Michelle, she's all the above, and she's an amazing
yes,
wife, mother,
yes.
grandmother, and she's Italian, so we love her anyway,
Oh, we
right?
love her, of
We
course.
love her. She's amazing.
Of course.
Um, but and the funny thing is too, she put, yeah, they throw crumbs. I call this breadcrumbing because
Yes.
a lot of times what they'll do is they give you
Yes.
just enough to keep you hooked in. They
Yes.
will never give you what you need. They give you just enough to keep you engaged.
Yes.
And the second you disengage, they maybe give you a little bit more. And then when you come back, they give you a little bit less. They are master manipulators. If you understand you're never going to win this war,
Yes.
right? And everything is a game, you're ahead of everybody.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, these are all the telltale signs that you have to look for, you have to be aware of, and pay attention to. It's serious because if you're dating somebody, it's easier to get out. I know two women who are married to narcissists for a very, very long time. Both of these men are the narcissists. They're both, actually, I know three women who are still in marriages with narcissistic husbands. All the men are powerful and rich, and these women are, if I were to describe them, I would call them as they're goddesses. They're so beautiful and they're goddesses, but they're broken. And they realize, oh my God, I got to try to heal myself. And who knows, one of them will definitely get out of the marriage no matter what it takes. I don't know if the other two will. So, but they realize now they have to heal themselves, that they have been broken. And of course, what isn't it powerful for a narcissist to think I can take this gorgeous, amazing, powerful, sensitive woman and just knock her down? And doesn't that make me feel good? Right? But it goes the other way around too. Listen, there are plenty of narcissistic women, okay, who are emasculating men, and I've have a client in that category as well. She emasculated him so badly. It really is for him to kind of get his masculine back. It's a hard journey because he's been so affected by her constant degrading, never being good enough. And that's
Yes.
hard on a man's ego, right? And that's hard on the masculine. So it really goes both ways. I don't want people to think it doesn't. It does.
Oh, they do. They do. I've been in relationships with a narcissist, and that's exactly what they do. They think like, oh, let me see what he'll do. And then they push you even further, and then they kind of start expecting, and it's a downward spiral.
Yes.
And, so, okay, and this can kind of go both sides too. So let's talk about that. Why do they do that? And why do people feel like they have to conform to whatever the narcissist needs?
Okay. So these the narcissist is very adept at picking empaths and healer types and sensitive types. And if I could quote Cindy Sansone again, and she says, we healers and empaths and sensitive types think we can fix everybody. Okay. And so we conform because we think, well, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe they need that. I'm willing to give it to this person. Right. But the truth is, that is where we start to give our power away. And as Cindy says, we sensitive and healer types and all, we're the crap takers. Okay. And that is one of our biggest lessons as healers, empaths, and people and just sensitives who are targets for narcissists is to know that our downfall is that we are the crap takers. And what we have to do is stop taking crap from people. First, we have to recognize what crap is, and then stop taking it. And so that's why it happens.
Well, that's great. We all know we need to stop taking crap. We need to walk away. We need to run. We need to do this. Why don't victims of narcissistic relationships do this? Why don't they just run?
Well, usually there's a narcissist and a codependent. Okay. And so again, some of these more sensitive types can be codependents, meaning they become dependent on the narcissist for something, whether it's money, sex, whatever, crumbing, whatever it is they're getting. And the narcissist makes the codependent feel they can't live without the narcissist. You can't live without me. And it makes breaking the trauma bond, as you call it, very difficult. It takes a lot of strength. If I could reference the movie, do you remember Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts?
Oh, a
Okay.
long time ago. Wasn't that what is it, Richard Gere?
No, 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 that was Pretty
Was it
Woman.
Richard Gere?
No, that was Pretty Woman. This was Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah.
I forget the actor who she was married to, who was a wealthy man, narcissist. He had her putting towels, and folding towels had to be exactly right, and all the cans in the cupboard had to be all in line. She had to look a certain way all the time. So she realized after she got married, she was married to a narcissist. How did she get out of it? Well, I mean, the story was about her faking her death, but she began to take care of herself and build up her own inner strength. All right. And that is one of the things that you have to do in order to break the trauma bond. Now, you don't have to fake your death like she did in the movie, and he found out she was still alive. But you start to heal yourself and build up your strength.
So, and that's exactly it. But let's kind of like dive in real quick because people like trauma, who? Trauma bonds.
Yeah.
So trauma bonding is an attachment an abused person feels towards their abuser, specifically in a relationship or with a cynical pattern of abuse. Think of like Stockholm syndrome, right? they
Mhm.
fall in love with the abuser. This time they didn't realize the abuser, but what they do is they love this person, they form the bond, right? Love bombing. They're all in it. They're the prince in shining armor. They're the woman of your dreams. They're everything you've ever wanted put into a human being. And what they do is they slowly start to change. And you think the person's just changing, but you're already loving them. There is already an attachment.
Yeah.
There's a bond going on, whether it's intimacy, whether it's, whatever it is, right? So now they got you locked in and they literally start to abuse you. But then, like Michelle said, they throw you crumbs, right? So
Right.
think about, it's your torturer kind of saying, all right, here's a blanket or here's a towel or, I brought you some food. And then they go right back to the abuse. There's glimpses and moments of where they do show some
Yeah.
kindness or compassion to you, but it's not a genuine feeling. It's to keep you locked in. So we
That
form these trauma bonds, right? Which can really destroy us on a psychological,
yeah.
cellular, even level.
There are a lot of people who start to believe they deserve some of the mistreatment. Okay?
Yes.
That
Well, that's a
it's
delusion.
it's exactly that they deserve it, or somehow, well, look, this is just how it is. He or she doesn't really mean it, right? They don't really mean it. So this is where you start giving somebody too much of the benefit of the doubt. No, they do mean it. And maybe on some level they don't, but they can't help themselves because they are narcissistic. So the abuse starts to become, and the mistreatment, and it could be cheating, it could be cheating, it could be physical abuse, it could be emotional abuse, verbal abuse. Um, it becomes part of the weave, right, that you're of the relationship that you're in, and it almost becomes a little normal, but there's, it's not normal, but yet you kind of figure, well, this is it, and you have to say to yourself, no, this is not it, this is not right, this is not good. And that's why getting out sooner rather than later is the answer. The longer you stay, the harder it is.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen, I'm going to tell you it's not easy getting out of a narcissistic
It's not.
relationship.
It's
If
not.
you can,
If
and
it's if
why?
it's a marriage, a dating thing is a lot easier. If it's a marriage and you have children, it could be tough.
Oh, it's and people literally, I've heard of people wanting to commit harm to themselves because they don't see a way out. And there is always a way out, right? There is always a way out. You just have to speak with somebody, get the right support system, and have your ducks in a row and have a plan before even having that conversation with them. But I got to tell you, it's not as easy. If you do recognize some of these signs, what are some of the things people shouldn't do when they start getting these signs? Like, what shouldn't they do? Because I know one right away.
Um, and if you're in a relationship and you start seeing the signs, I mean, my suggestion would be, don't even confront the narcissist. Don't even talk to the narcissist about it. Just be silent and start to work on you. Get yourself some help, because if you confront the narcissist and they start to suspect that you're becoming too strong, or they're gonna come at you in, or treat you even worse, because they have to make sure that they keep you down here. The minute they see you starting to rise or getting stronger or fighting back, they're going to push even harder to bring you down.
And what that will also look like too is they will talk about you, they will discredit you,
Yes.
friends, family, they'll get people to turn on you, right? We call that flying monkeys. Think of Wizard of Oz. These are terms that are out there. The flying monkeys, they get your friends, your coworkers, they may even call your job and kind of say, do you believe what's going on? Do you believe she did this to me or he did this to me?
Yes.
They're going to do any means to kind of discredit you and really keep you down. But the one big thing I think people really need to understand is, if you do realize you're dealing with a narcissist and you put them on blast and you say you're a narcissist, good luck. because you're going to deal with what's called narcissistic rage. Now, they may not barrel through the house, tearing it apart limb from limb. They may not use you, they may not commit domestic violence, but they're going to take it out on you, whether it's passive aggressive,
Yeah.
whether it's withholding from you. They may seize the bank account. Things may go missing that are your pride and joy. Maybe that ring from mom or that special ornament she gave you for Christmas or something that's been in the family for a long time. Or they're going to mentally and emotionally just destroy you. So narcissistic rage will happen.
Yeah,
You just have to get through this storm.
yeah. I mean, and I like what you said, you need a plan. You do. That was the movie I was referring to with Julia Roberts. She had to develop a plan. She had to work on herself and she had to develop a plan. And you do need you need a really good therapist, somebody who is well versed in this, who can really help you. And obviously, healer types such as Richard and myself as well, to really help you dig into your own wounds to help you heal that. Yeah,
Listen,
it's really powerful stuff, and there's more of this out there than I think people realize.
yeah. I mean, one of the reasons why, first of all, I grew up with a very narcissistic father. It was absolutely horrible dealing with the childhood and things going on. I've dated people that were very narcissistic. And I did a lot of work myself. I had to heal, and it took many years. And we're going to talk about this, like in another show, how to start the healing process
Yeah.
from the dealing with a narcissistic abuse, because it's a lot different than what you would think of like grief or other stuff. Like you actually have to deal and start healing on a cellular level, the
Yes.
nervous system, the psychology of it, almost retraining your brain, getting to identify yourself. There are a lot of moving parts to this that are so different than other kind of traumatic healing. And we're going to talk about that because I really think people need to understand. Um, but the real kind of why I focused on this and I started Hurting to Healing coaching was, I would say 90% over 16 years of working as a spiritual practitioner. And Pauline, I'm sure you've had this, please, not only living it, right? But what you see with your clients, the number one traumatic experience most people have, at least from my experience sitting in readings, doing everything, is narcissism. And I've had 80-year-old ladies in front of me cry because their mom at 6 years old said, "You are not pretty to get a bangs, that you need to have long hair to cover your face." I mean, this woman broke down in front of me crying, sobbing,
Yeah.
because her mom was such a narcissist and she's carried this for 70 some years.
Time doesn't heal all wounds.
So, Marvel, can there be different types of narcissists? Absolutely.
Different
There are
level.
many different types. And
Yes.
we're going to kind of dive into that. Covert, raging, we're going to get more into all of them. And she also made a comment, I didn't know women could be narcissists.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Narcissism is not gender or race exclusive. It is an equal opportunity employer.
Mhm. Yeah. Equal opportunity employer. This is true.
It takes on whatever, it doesn't matter what the Uber is. It's
Right.
going to literally drive in whatever car pulls up.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it is. But there's a lot going on. It hurts stay a long time. Yeah, it does hurt. And it never really gets better, but you do start to heal and it does prepare you for something amazing on the other side. And we're going to talk more about this. Um, Please, again, give us a like, share this podcast. If you know somebody that's kind of dealt with a narcissist, leave some comments. We really listen to this. We like to talk to people, even off. If you have any emails, send it to us. We can answer some very simple questions. If it gets too deep, that might take a session. But we're here to help people, especially dealing with this, because the more we can change one person at a time, the more we can start getting everybody healing in the right direction.
I agree. I agree. We're all here to help each other. And we're in a very critical time of deep healing and awakening. We are in the great awakening. And so it is time to deal with that which is difficult and painful, with the understanding that you will rise and you will get over this, and the true empowered you will emerge.
Yeah. And then we also have a Carla, very enlightening. Thank you. Erica, great show, important stuff. Thank you very much. Big heart with lots of stars around it. And then Michelle, thank you. And thank you for everybody that commented. Again, we're all in this together. Remember, this is a movement. I'm starting kind of like a movement for 2025. We're going to kind of start, educate ourselves, empower ourselves to deal with the narcissists in our life. And because it comes in many, many shapes and forms, whether it's workplace narcissism, relationships, kids, and especially parents. So we're going to kind of do a little bit of a deep dive. Michelle put the phoenix. Yes, you're like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And, people are like, thank you. We'll see you next week. I can't wait. It's big stuff.
Yeah. Super. Super. Yep. There's more to talk about.
Big, big, big stuff. So Pauline, what do you have going on? What do you have? Any events coming up? I know we're kind of circling around the holidays and coming up to the end of the year.
Yes. So I do have an online event. It's going to be on December 29th. I believe it's going to be I haven't figured the time out. It's probably going to be about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, online for about an hour and a half or so. And we're going to be looking at the energy of 2025, connecting with higher timelines, bringing in the abundance frequency, and whatever else I am shown to talk about and do between now and then, because Spirit always gives me the information, guides me as to what the event should be like. And you could contact me through my website if you're interested. I can send you the invite if you're not on my emailing list. And if you'd like to join, please do. We're usually a group of 20 to 30 people, and it's very, very powerful because the group just enhances the energy and lifts us all up.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Also, next week it's going to be a big week, starting and everyone, thank you for the birthday wishes. So I have officially a birthday on Saturday, but I don't identify with my age whatsoever. I don't feel my age. So I'm going to have a great time. But next week we have a big week. So next Thursday, we do have an amazing guest. We're going to kind of put out that information on probably Monday or Tuesday.
Yep.
So thank you, Susan. Happy birthday. Thank you. Deborah, thank you. So yes, we're going to have a great guest, really interesting topic, really fascinating. I'm not going to give any spoiler hints. You got to wait till Monday to tune in. You can see the flyer that will be up there. But it's going to be a big week. And then Friday night, I am in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, doing a gallery demonstration. You can still go to Reiki by Ricky, Reiki Space, and get tickets, sign up. We're almost sold out, so please reserve your spot. And then we're cruising into the holidays.
Yep.
So if you have any topics, especially for the holidays,
Mm.
Send us a message, because these are the hard times. These are the times that we either miss a loved one, we're dealing with seasonal depression, mental health is a big component. We feel disconnected from our family. We feel isolated, or we have nobody, right? So
Yes.
again, message us of things that you would like to hear for us to talk about, things that resonate with you. What's going on in your life? We are here for you.
Yes. Maybe we'll even do an online healing around the holidays. Right here on Guided by Spirit. I can do an online healing right here live.
I love it. I love it. It's a very difficult time of year. It really is. I mean, I don't have a lot of family, and when my mom passed, everyone kind of turned their back on me. And
Oh,
I got to tell you, I've spent many, probably way too many holidays by myself eating Chinese food on Christmas Day, you
oh,
know,
I didn't
on
know that. You should
Thanksgiving.
come to my house.
Oh, it's been a common thing, and especially as of recently, a lot of separation and family and things like that. So, I understand what it's like. I've been there. Trust me, I go through it more than what people should. And being around the holidays by yourself is very trying. But we're all in this together. I
Yes.
promise you. I
And we're
promise
here
you,
and
we're
we're
all there.
here to share love and hugs for anybody who needs.
Yes, yes. So thank
Happy
you,
birthday to
everyone.
you, my friend. But
Thank
I'll be
you.
talking to you on Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I love it. I don't feel my age. Everybody's like, how old are you gonna be? I'm like, I'm gonna be 48, and I don't feel 48. Oh my gosh, I feel like 28. And
Yep.
this is amazing. So I don't subscribe to a number.
No. I stopped aging a long time ago, and we'll leave that conversation right there.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time. As sending much love, big hugs, and lots of healing to everyone,
Yes.
everyone in need.
Remember, you are loved, you are love, and the light of your soul illuminates this world with love.
With love. Much love.
Much love.
All right. Bye, everyone.